You think Netflix is heartbroken over losing out on the Warner Brothers deal? Well, I just read a quote to Rob a little bit earlier. The CFO of Netflix was just asked, hey, how hard has it hit you that you guys lost out on the WB deal? He said, well, we've got $2.8 billion more in our pocket than we did a few weeks ago. I guess we'll just go with that. It also has not deterred them from still being on an acquisition hunt. Because according to Deadline, they've got a new special advisor.
Ooh.
Ben Affleck. Because they just bought Ben Affleck's AI company called Interpositive. And if you're thinking, wait, Ben Affleck has an AI company? The reason you're saying that is because he has kept it completely quiet. It's a specific AI company that he created specifically to make AI tools to help with filmmaking. And Netflix just bought it. This comes to us from the folks at Deadline. Netflix gets back in the mergers and acquisition game, acquiring Ben Affleck-founded AI firm Interpositive. It goes on to say the following. Less than a week after dropping out of the Warner Brothers Discovery bidding war, Netflix has made a smaller but intriguing acquisition of an AI firm founded by Ben Affleck. Interpositive, which makes tools developed by and intended for filmmakers, has been in stealth mode prior to the transaction. As of Thursday, it is a part of Netflix, with its 16 employees to be integrated into the broader workforce, and Ben Affleck will now take on the role at Netflix of senior advisor. The deal builds on comments from management as AI has exploded onto the scene in the past few years and on and on. It does say something kind of interesting down the bottom here. It says, nevertheless, the acquisition is sure to be scrutinized as it comes at the same time that above-the-line unions are embarking on a new round of talks with studios and streamers, including Netflix. The aim of the talks is to avoid a repeat of the 2023 strikes, which centered on part of the perceived AI threat. All right. I am intrigued by the notion of AI, a specific set of tools created for the specific purpose by and for filmmakers. That's intriguing to me because, you know, as we've discussed over the past couple of years, the threat of AI in filmmaking, I've often said, and I'm still in a place of, I'm torn. Because on the one hand, you do see like how it can be really terrible for the film industry. At the same time, there's half of my brain is it's just another tool and it all depends on how you use the tool. I think there are some very helpful, time-saving, cost-saving, efficient ways you can use AI as a tool without it becoming the dominant thing that just ends up generating AI slop, right? Now, to all those who would just start to jump up and down and start screaming anything that takes away jobs from people, like that one episode of The Studio when they found out Kool-Aid was going to use some AI generation. You're taking jobs away from CG artists and stuff like that, right?
Well, there's 16 people that just got hired by Netflix.
Well, there's 16 people. But I mean, there is also an inherent hypocrisy. Because whenever new technology comes along that we begin to adopt as people, it kills jobs. Don't believe me? 20 years ago, the New York Times had 10,000 more staff people than they do today. And in large part, because technology evolved, we started reading the news, you know, on our phones, like, oh, blah, 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 and just tapping on it. And the demand that news come faster, and we don't have printing press professionals anymore working for them. The logistics distribution networks for getting the newspapers out there is gone because you and me and all of us started to adapt new technology. It changed that workforce.
It's sad to think that if you say, stop the presses, now people are like, what does that mean? At a news agency. Right. Stop. What do you mean? Stop what?
You know what was the craziest things I saw? There was an Instagram video where there was a trend where people asked their children, their kids, use your hand to pretend like you're talking on the phone.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you
yeah,
ask Gen Xers, you do this, right? You ask the kids and they do this. It's like, that shocked me. But I also, another industry, travel. When I was a kid, I remember the Lime Ridge Mall, where I grew up, had a couple of travel agents. When you want to go on a big trip, you would go to a travel agency. Yeah. And there were travel agents. Not today.
Yeah,
today you open up, oh, Expedia, clickety, clickety, click.
If you see a travel agency now, it's a money laundering facility.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So we killed an industry from it. Or even bring it home to the movies. Bring it home to the movies. Do you know that 20 years ago, I just used the barometer of 20 years. 20 years ago, simply because of box office staffing, the people who actually sat in the box office, that's where the word comes from, kids. That's where you used to actually go in person. It was called the box office, where you bought your tickets. There are still people there, but again, it came up to the same number, 10,000 less jobs today. Why? Because you and I adopted a new technology that allows us just go clickety-click, and I bought my tickets. And if you're Canadian, clickety-click, barba-trick. Only Canadians will understand that.
Clickety-click what?
Barba-trick.
Nice.
It's a little kids thing in Canada called Barba Papa. Very, anybody outside of Canada will know it. Anyway, or Rob, let's also stay with the movie theaters. There's 87% fewer film projectionists today with jobs than there were just 20 years after Lord of the Rings came out. That's not that long ago. Just 20 years ago, 87% fewer film projectionists. Why? Because technology changed, technology advanced. Now, I am neither saying this is good nor bad. Technology is purely agnostic. But what I am pointing out is we clutch our pearls a little too tightly sometimes when it comes to new technology tools changing the way we do things, which always and inevitably impacts a sector of the job market. It does. I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying that's the way it has always been. And there's a little bit of hypocrisy in all of us who use our technology all the time, when just a few years ago, us using that technology has cost somebody their job. But the industry evolves, it changes. How do I feel about Ben Affleck developing, who I am unabashedly a fan of? Everybody knows I'm a big Ben Affleck fan. How do I feel about Ben Affleck, like, developing a company that's specifically targeted at generating and creating AI tools specifically for filmmakers? I have no problem with somebody making tools. I might have an issue with how somebody decides to use the tool, but I have no problem with somebody generating tools. And look, guys, it's kind of like the disappearance of physical media. It's not about whether you like it or not. It's about, that is the way everything is going. So how are they going to do it? I'm still torn on the whole thing, Rob, but I found this fascinating that in secret, Ben Affleck built a bat cave and he founded an AI company in it. And now they have sold that AI company to Netflix, and now he's a senior advisor there. Anyway, guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Mando. Guys, the time for spring cleaning has come, and to be honest, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it this year. I've been busy clearing out the clutter in the studio here and getting my camper van ready for the next movie meetup trip, but I'm also incredibly excited to keep using my deodorant. You guys know that a while ago I started using Mando whole body deodorant, and it has been an absolute game changer for me. Whether I'm sitting under these hot studio lights for a long live stream, or I'm out on the golf course recently. Yeah, I actually just took up golf. I need something that actually works. Mando was created by a doctor and comes from the founders of Lumi. One of the things that I love about Mando is that it's safe to use anywhere. We're talking pits, feet, and even the boys downstairs. It's clinically proven to block odor for up to 72 hours, which is honestly way better than a shower with soap alone. It doesn't just mask the smell, it stops it before it starts. Right now, you can get 20% off site-wide. Head over to shopmando.com and use my exclusive code Campea. That's shopmando.com, code Campea for 20% off. Support the show and tell them I sent you. What's your takeaway from this?
Well, you know, I've been dabbling using AI on various projects, and there's two different approaches, I think, that with AI that people don't quite understand. One, and Ben Affleck himself has been saying this on recent podcasts and interviews to support the RIP. You know, he said that when you're using AI, you can type a prompt in Wolverine fights the Hulk, and you hit a button and you can have a photorealistic Hulk fighting Hugh Jackman in his yellow suit. And you'll get what Ben Affleck says is a median. You'll get a fight scene that looks recognizable to you, that looks cool because you've seen it in other movies already. That's one thing. And you can certainly use AI to do that if that makes you happy. Or, like, for instance, there's a program called Storyboarded AI that I've been using.
That's awesome.
It's I fiddled with it a bit. It's remarkable.
So what I'm doing is I am pre-directing the feature film version of my audio drama True Noir. It's a different story entirely. You can pick your lens size.
I love,
You can create, I can do all of my shots, and then I edit it all together. It's all coming from me and Max Allan Collins' screenplay.
But see, that's the thing. That's such a positive use of AI because that's inspired you to do something creatively.
I could never,
which would then generate.
It's a tool, and you've chosen to use it in a very effective, helpful way.
Yes, and what it is, I'm picking every shot, and what I can do is, because instead of making a lookbook, I can walk in, and I've already had a few meetings about this. I walk in and I can show, I'm like, here's the movie I want to make. Eventually you can watch it. I will have a 2-hour version of this in storyboard form with every shot, every lens size. You can pick the lens size. You can make every shot handheld. You can make it on sticks. You can do whatever you want. And you can generate this. And it's an unbelievable tool for me to show somebody, what movie would you want to make, Rob?
You know what the pessimist would say, though? Not me. But you know what the pessimist would say? Rob, you're taking jobs away from illustrators, because it used to be that you would hire illustrators to come in unless you're Guillermo del Toro, can do it yourself.
The key there is I don't have any money to hire an illustrator. There's no budget
to scale.
There's absolutely. I am putting my own sweat equity into a project, spending money on the AI, on storyboarded AI, which is not cheap, and it's all coming out of me. I have Max Allan Collins' script that I'm working from, and what I'm trying to do at the end of the day is get a green light so I can employ people.
Yes. The end game is actually a production.
Yes, and I'm I've chosen to use, no one's paying me either. An illustrator could be paying, you're right. I am taking that job away, but I wouldn't be hiring an illustrator anyway.
Right.
So it's not like I'm taking a job away from someone, and I'll tell you, an illustrator could honestly not do. I couldn't have an illustrator go, that's a great drawing. Now I'd rather have a 35 millimeter lens instead of a 50 millimeter lens. Can you do that? Well, that's a whole nother drawing. I have to start from scratch.
And you can sync it with your script.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And again, it just goes back to the hypocrisy that we have. Is like, I just saw somebody in the live chat who meant well. I'm not trying to bash on them. They said the difference between a tool that helps. There's a difference between a tool that helps and a tool that replaces somebody. Do you have a dishwasher in your house? I hearken us back to just in the era of the Brady Bunch, when a lot of American homes had housekeepers and whatever and come in, and one of the big jobs to do is clean your dishes. Well, guess what? You don't need them anymore. You use a dishwasher, so you're taking a job away from somebody. It's just the matter of, like, how do you use it? And Rob, I think the point you made, I think you kind of rushed over a point you made that I think is completely clear here. It's either you can now use this AI tool that's allowing you to do something you couldn't do before, or it just didn't get done at all because you don't have the money to hire people to do it.
That's right.
So what's the best thing to do here? And it's, again, listen, I'm not saying I've got the answers, because I don't. I'm still listening to arguments on both sides about when it's appropriate, when it's not. What part of it is just a natural evolution of the technology? What part of it is, I don't know, something but I'll tell you this though, what I have found, and I'm not making a blanket statement here, I'm just saying what I have found from a lot of the people that I've heard make the biggest arguments that this technology is stealing people's jobs and taking away from are the same people who will stand up for piracy.
Yeah.
The same people who will use technology to rip movies and share movies illegally are the same people saying we shouldn't be using technology for ways that take away. I don't know.
You know what? One more point. I'm finding that it's older people that are embracing this technology and doing things that they've never been able to do before. Like I have a friend of mine who's been using AI technology to help him write his first book. Now, he didn't hit a button and just say, write this for me. He's been using it to develop an outline and do it just much faster.
I would use it as an editor.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, if you already have talent and you've already done something, like Michael Davis, who directed Shoot 'Em Up, has been using...
I love Michael.
Yeah, he's amazing. But he's been using AI technology to help him because he was a storyboard artist before he was directing movies and an animator. And now he's got a one-stop shop where he already made a fully animated movie once called Nixed. Now he's using this new technology because he already has a skill set. And if you have a built-in skill set, you can use this AI material, the technology, to increase your output 1,000 times. But he's bringing a lifetime of understanding to the use, to when he uses this material, because he went to art school and he's got all of that background.
You know, it also reminds me of this. I'm going to see if I can find this. What is the name of the old machine? Was it the Filmola? Or no,
Moviola.
The Moviola.
Then it became a flatbed.
Yeah, so it reminds me of this because I remember back when NLEs, nonlinear editors, things like Avid, the early versions of Adobe Premiere, hell, what's the Apple Movie Maker?
All thanks to George Lucas, actually.
Right? So I remember when
right?
those, like, reading like stuff about the fact that before, if you used to want to edit something, you had to hire somebody who had one of these. See if you can find a picture of it.
A Moviola? Sure.
Yeah, see if you can find a picture.
I learned
of
to
it
cut on a Moviola at USC.
I mean, a lot of people learn to cut on Moviolas, but it used to be that if you wanted to edit something, you had to hire somebody who had either had a Moviola or had access to a Moviola. Somebody with very specific...
I want to find a higher res, because there's a lot of low res ones.
Well, just bring it, even the low res one, just
Sure.
so people know what we're dealing with here.
Just to start, I'll get other
There you
pictures.
go.
Somebody
That's exactly
with
what we
a
used.
very specific trained set of skills to do it. But today,
Oh, this is awesome. This is
a great
rolled out.
technology... Yeah, there you go.
You can get a bunch of them.
That's what USC looked like.
Technology advanced to where now any fucker can sit in their mom's basement and use their computer to edit something. Are we saying that's bad?
Oh, it's not just the use of that. It's the fact that then film stock processing, all of the back end.
Now,
like,
you can make an argument, and you would be right to do so, to say, yeah, but John, you know, AI represents kind of an exponential leap. Absolutely, you're not wrong if you're thinking that. But it's still the basic principle of it is still, at the end of the day, a tool, and it's all going to be about how we use them.
right.
Is Ben Affleck, has he created AI tools that truly help filmmakers and give them choices and options and creative abilities that might be otherwise exponentially more difficult to do without them? Or is he creating AI tools that replace filmmakers? And I think I think that at the end of the day is the question, because I think if he's just treating them as tools to be helpful tools in the belt of a filmmaker, great. If he's using them as things that just replace filmmakers, maybe not so great. But again, I think this is a question that deserves a lot of discussion that we are only at the beginning of having, I think.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to the actual creator who's using the tools and how they're using
100%.
it. Like anything else, you know, it's like what's going to happen is when everybody has the ability to create with these tools, it'll be like everything else. Not everyone picked up an electric guitar and started a rock band. What's going to happen here is the people that really love to tell stories are going to use this technology to tell stories. People that wouldn't be able to tell stories before, and the great storytellers will come to float to the top.
Or it will be an AI apocalypse. I think it
just
can go
don't-
either way. It can go either way.
But then even that, you're hitting a reset button because people aren't buying. You're not making money off of it. There's got to be a natural reset.
Anyway, again, I think we're just at the beginning of all this, and we're just, I think, even as a culture and as a society, we're just trying to figure our way through this right now as the technology continues to advance. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Down in his secret Batcave, Ben Affleck has founded an AI company for filmmakers, and he just sold it to Netflix, where he is now a senior advisor.
Keep it secret. Keep it
Whatever
safe.
you think about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.